The Indian market opens higher as the street digests the ceasefire between Israel and Iran. The Nifty rises to 25,200 as all sectors trade with gains. The broader market slightly underperforms the key indices, but market breadth firmly in favor of advances.
Shares of IndiaMart surge in trade as Nuvama turns bullish on the stock. They upgrade the stock from a reduced rating to buy on the back of potential demand upcycle. They have also raised their target price to 3,800 rupees per share from around 2,100 rupees per share earlier.
MCX rises 4% as UBS maintains its buy call, raises its target price from 7,000 rupees earlier to 10,000 now, expecting new product launches to drive growth.
And steady gains for Indian hotels as JP Morgan initiates coverage on the stock with the overweight rating. They have a target price of 890 rupees per share. They expect the company to meet its FY30 targets ahead of schedule.
IEX too rises on the back of a bullish brokerage note. Bernstein has upgraded the counter to a market weight rating with a target price of 160 rupees per share.
Hello and welcome to Chartbusters. We are coming to you live from the CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal studio. I'm Nigel, with me is Mangalam. And the markets have started off well in the green, so that's pretty good news. The Nifty is up 100 points. The Nifty Bank was underperforming a little bit, but the breadth of the market still in favor of the number of stocks advancing. So the screen looking pretty good, Mangalam.
Screen looking pretty good, and dare I say it, it's early in the day, but it looks a lot more solid than it was yesterday because we have a diverse sector of moves, all of them doing fairly well. Yesterday was that bit of uncertainty that whether the ceasefire will sustain or not. Towards the end, we saw that sell-off, but now 24 hours have passed. The street has realized that this is going to sustain. And with the addition of call writing that we've seen, if the market sustains around the 25,250 mark, then could there be a case for short covering of those calls or not is something that we will be watching out for. But we're not the experts here. We do have Chandan Taparia joining in for his quick technical view on the market along with individual stocks. Good morning, Chandan.
Good morning, Mangalam and Nigel. Thanks for having me.
Yes, go ahead. Do tell us your view on the indices.
Yeah, so we have seen a consolidative move for most part of this series. In fact, on expiry to expiry basis, the Nifty index is up by around 1.5%. And volume weighted average for the series is at 24,900, and we are 300 points higher than the volume weighted average, which indicate bullish bias. We have seen sustained put writing at 25,000 strike earlier. Call writing used to happen the same. So the base of the market is shifting higher, and we are heading now towards the July series. And historically, as per the seasonality, 10 out of 10 July in last 10 years were positive, which clearly indicate the fresh leg of rally. So I'm expecting seasonality to work here, led by a bullish breakout on the daily and the weekly chart. So till Nifty holds about 25,000 marks on immediate basis, I'm expecting it to head towards 25,400 level. But on positional basis, till it holds about 24,600, expecting market to head towards 25,750 to 26,000 and probable head towards the new lifetime high in the month of July. Talking about Bank Nifty index, here also the positive momentum could be seen. However, it has been consolidating in a range, but a small follow-up could lead to the next leg of rally. With support of 56,000, Bank Nifty can head towards 57,500 mark. So expecting both the indices to start the next leg of rally, Nifty can head towards the lifetime high, while Bank Nifty can head to the new lifetime high territory.
All right, you are calling for a lifetime high on both the Nifty as well as the Nifty Bank. That'll be very interesting. Individual stocks, what do you think will lead the indices there?
Yeah, so stock-wise, first trading idea is buy on Titan. In fact, the gold prices are supporting the counter to move on higher side. We have seen a positive price pattern. In fact, corrective move of last 4 to 5 weeks is coming to an end for fresh leg of rally. We have seen sustained put writing at lower strikes, and rollover is also better. So recommending to buy with support of 35.25, and Titan can head towards 37.25 marks. Second trading idea, that is buy on Bharti Airtel, one of the strongest counter with low beta and margin of safety here. In fact, the most of the telecom counter were in action in last few days. So Bharti Airtel will be in focus. One can buy with support of 1915 for an upside target towards 2025. One more trading idea, that is buy on TVS Motor. Expecting fresh leg of rally in the counter, one can buy for an upside target towards 3,000 with support of 2810 in TVS Motor.
Thanks a lot, Chandan, for joining in and giving us all of those calls. Well, let's turn the spotlight now. The latest in the NSE IPO front. Sources say that NSE has filed for settlement with SEBI in the co-location case. Yash is picking up some of the scoop. He joins us to fill us in with more details. Yash, tell us more.
Well, Nigel, this is the biggest settlement, honestly, filed by any company in the history of Indian capital markets. It's coming from the National Stock Exchange now. As per our sources, what we've been given to understand is that NSE has filed for a settlement application in the co-location case with market regulator SEBI. As far as the settlement application and the amount there is concerned, it's upwards of 1380 crore rupees, to end this co-location matter at the doors of market regulator SEBI. Now, if, in a situation where SEBI accepts this settlement offer, then it will clear the only impediment which is left in the way, casting uncertainty on the timeline for NSE's IPO. Once, if the settlement application is indeed accepted by market regulator SEBI, in that case, post which SEBI will look to issue that NOC or no objection certificate to the National Stock Exchange in terms of allowing the exchange to file for its IPO DRHP. Simultaneously, the regulator will also move to withdraw its case, the legal case against the National Stock Exchange, which is pending before the Supreme Court. Now, this essentially, the acceptance of the settlement offer will set the ball rolling as far as the further process is concerned, remove the uncertainty impediment on the timeline for NSE's IPO. But of course, it's a process after which, only the approval and the launch will happen, and that might take anywhere between about 8 months to about a year. But it's a normal process which will begin after this, big hurdle gets cleared, and if it does get cleared.
They made the offer. Now it's up to SEBI whether they accept it or not. And once they do, the ball sets rolling for the NSE IPO. Meanwhile, just keep an eye on a couple of stocks. MCX up around 5.5%. Positive brokerage note that doing well for them. India Cements continues to do well. We have some traction on Vodafone Idea for second day running, and Jubilant Foodworks as well has spiked to the high point of trade. So let's get you some ideas for profit. We do have our colleagues from Money Control Pro joining in. Today we have Khushbu Rai Gupta with a stock that she's tracking. Khushbu.
In today's idea for profit, we have Hindustan Unilever. HUL is a market leader in the FMCG space with strong presence in home care, beauty and personal care categories. The company's volume growth trajectory was flat on the back of the negative mix. However, HUL is creating strategies to increase the organizational growth led by deep penetration and strong distribution network. The company will launch new products across core brands concurrent with the changing consumer needs. In this backdrop, HUL has increased investment in the beauty and well-being segment to speed portfolio transformation in the skincare category. The acquisition of The Minimalist, which is a premium brand operating in the high-growth beauty space, is part of the same execution plan. The growth via inorganic route in the deeply penetrated and high-growth portfolio segment will support sustained volume growth in the medium term. We also feel that the meaningful volume growth recovery is required for valuation re-rating backed by a revival in the urban demand.
HUL has the idea for profit. It will be very interesting to see where it goes from here. It looks like an FMCG day today. A bunch of them actually moving to the high point of trade. We have Britannia, Tata Consumer, all of them doing well. But what we'll do is take a short break. And as we do that, don't lose sight of India's business news leader, which is CNBC-TV18, just being a click away. That's on the phone. The instant app, the CNBC-TV18 app, gives you access to breaking news, in-depth articles, financial world updates, everything that we discuss here, all of them at your fingertips. You can download them from either the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, or just scan the QR code, which is up for you on the screen.
Welcome back. Markets continue to trade well in the grain, but let's focus on a couple of big movers. Mahanagar Gas, that's trading with gains, following a solid note that's come in from Citi. who are quite bullish on the company's prospects. Sudarshan joins us to detail that note out for us. Sud.
So this city gas company has been moving higher for the last few sessions, and today also it's trading with gains. But today Citi has come out with a note. It has opened positive catalyst watch on the stock, and as far as rating is concerned, it has a buy call and target is 1700 per share, implying an upside of almost 18% from current levels. So it has mentioned few positive catalysts. So first one is volume growth. It believes that a company is going to achieve 10% plus volume CAGR over next 2 to 3 years, and it can very much start from Q1 of FY26. Second one is margin tailwinds. In Q4 of FY25, company had reported margin of rupees 8.30 per SCM. Citi believes it can rise to rupees 9.50 to 10 going forward. Third is clean fuel mandates. It's saying that any positive developments from Maharashtra state government related to phasing out petrol and diesel vehicles and converting or transitioning to CNG will be positive for companies like MGL. And lastly, merger and acquisition. It says CGD sector consolidation is inevitable and it's going to be beneficiary for large players like MGL and also some of the companies like IGL. That's the reason you are seeing a positive uptick in the stock.
All right, take that point, Sudarshan. Thank you so much for that. That's about MGL up around 2%. Just keep an eye out and see it, though. The stock has moved higher. It's up around 3.5%. Remember, over the last couple of days, the decline in crude prices would further assuage any concerns with regards to raw material price inflation on a lot of these tire companies. We did see a big move on the rice companies yesterday on account of the truce. See it is something that we'll be watching out for. I remember a couple of weeks ago, we did have the management joining us and saying that, from the second quarter is where we will see margins improving for the company and the benefits of that would come by. Any sort of uncertainty that the street had with regards to increase in the raw material prices now stand assuaged with Brent at around $68 per barrel. So see it up around 3.5%. MCX, that's the other stock. We've been talking about it, up now 5% on the back of a bullish note coming in by UBS. Vamakshi, 7,000 rupees target price jumps to 10,000.
Well, absolutely, Mangalam. It's a big upgrade coming in from UBS on MCX, and they've outlined the reasons for the same. They're expecting very strong growth in the first quarter, especially in the average daily value, which is the ADV. In fact, in the first quarter so far, they highlight that the futures ADV saw a growth of almost 50% sequentially, driven by a sharp rise in bullion. Option premiums ADV is also quite healthy at 4,300 crores, an uptick of almost 30% sequentially, and therefore they're estimating the trading revenue to see a jump up of almost 34 to 35% quarter on quarter, and a net profit uptick of almost 50% quarter on quarter. So that just shows you how massive, how robust the quarter one is expected to be. Now, they're also expecting the new product launches to support near-term to medium-term growth. Conservatively, the electricity derivatives, which they just launched very recently, is expected to contribute almost 3% of the revenue by FY28, and they do see further upside potential from this particular segment. They're also expecting good traction in the new silver options, given the preference for near to expiry contracts. Given all of these factors, they've gone ahead and revised their estimates. For FY26 to 28, they're expecting an earnings CAGR of 26%, given a higher operating leverage, and they've gone ahead and revised their EPS estimates by 13 to 17%. They believe markets are not fully pricing in new products, growth potential, and operating leverage benefiting from higher volume. So given that, MCX is up in trade.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Vama. Well, India Mart, Intermesh, that's as well as seeing solid gains in today's trading session. Nuvama actually has done a U-turn. Earlier, they had downgraded the stock twice. Now, in fact, they have a buy rating on the stock. Vinny joins us to detail that note. Vinny, a complete U-turn, increasing the multiple, increasing the target price, changing the outlook as well. Tell us more.
Absolutely, a complete U-turn coming in there. The downgrade has come in somewhere in October 2023, and since then they were negative on the stock. Now, obviously, they have moved up and upgraded the stock to a buy rating, increased the target price from 2,100 rupees per share to 3,800 rupees per share. What are the factors they believe? That obviously, they believe the business is now entering a new demand cycle. Other than that, they believe management is on the right path. They've been working towards, reducing that competition on the supplier front, and that that is working out well for the company is what Nuvama is highlighting. They believe all the headwinds for the company now are behind them. Now they could see a positive cycle coming in for the company, expecting subscriber addition to start showing up in Q2 FY26, Q3 FY26 and onwards as well. Overall, they believe that the company will see a good growth going forward, and that is why increasing their earnings estimate for FY26 and FY27 by 9 and 10%, and also they're raising the target valuation multiple from 22 times to 35 times, driven by improving growth prospects. So positive outlook overall on the business, the demand trends improving over there for the company, and that is why they believe overall IndiaMart Intermesh could do well going forward.
Take that point, Vinny. Thank you so much for that. 6% higher on IndiaMart Intermesh on the Q-turn done by Nuvama. Take a short break, come back, and do more of the markets. A lot of stock-specific action. Stay with us.
Well, let's focus on Tata Motors then. Mr. Sailesh Chandra talks about the company's situation with rare earth magnets and also give us a sense about the outlook on the EV sales. Let's listen in.
As far as Tata Motors is concerned, I think we are good for the next few months. But beyond that, the stocks will run away definitely. We are quite hopeful with the intervention of the Ministry of Commerce. Also, SIAM and ACMA both are coordinating with the government bodies, and there's a reach out to the ambassador in China also. So I think all these efforts, we are hoping that should yield results, and we get some solution. And for mid to long term, we would definitely look for alternatives, but in short term, definitely this issue will be crucial and will have to be resolved. See, as from a demand perspective, with all the launch activities and all the, interest and excitement in the market is high. How the rare earth, will impact is too early to, comment, because as I said that there are ongoing discussions, and if it gets resolved, there should be no impact at all. Next, few months, as I already mentioned, that we have inventories to back us. And there is a hope that things will get resolved. So there is no change in outlook that we have considered at this stage.
All right, no change in outlook on account of the rare earth at this point in time. Good going for the EV industry, though it's very good going for the market right now. 25,200 holds on sustainably for the Nifty so far. HDFC Bank has moved to the high point of trade, so a fair weight on the index, and that's leading the Nifty Bank above that 56,600 mark as well. The other group of stocks that are doing well today belong to the FMCG pack. Britannia has moved to the top of the pops, up around 2%. We have Tata Consumer, which too has moved to the high point of trade. And ITC had a bit of a dip post gaining. Thereafter, that dip has been bought into. That stocks moved to the high point of the trade as well. With that, we'll wrap up on this edition of Chartbusters. But you stay tuned. Trading Hour comes up next.